I grew up in Beverly Hills, not too far from Walt's house.
Okay.
And in 1959, my two brothers, we had two dogs, and we would walk around the neighborhood on a Sunday. Actually, it was a Saturday. Anyway, we walk up this driveway and see railroad tracks. Because that's the way it was in England, and when the hobby started back east and over in England, it was all 7 1/4 track.
Right.
And when the hobby started out here and they took measurements, they took the measurements from the outside of the rail instead of the inside of the rail. That's why everything out here is 7 1/2 inches.
Oh.
So if you take a look, this is 7 1/2 inch, and you'll take a look at the track back there, 7 1/4. So if you go between the cars, you can see that there's a little difference between the track.
Wow.
It can be very confusing with the different scales, I found.
Shaved a mustache years ago. Didn't have one. There's Michael at 12 years old up there.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, that's the world famous picture of Michael on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I found the Autotopia with, is it Bob Gurr, I think he was with. That was pretty cool.
Bob comes out here all the time.
Yeah.
If you want to see the original, you go up to the Family Museum. If you have a chance, you've got to go see the Disney Family Museum.
Yeah,
it's well worth the trip.
It's at the Presidio or the
Presidio up there.
Yep.
And the full train's up there.
Yep.
Florida, if you've been to it's now the Carolwood room, it was originally the Iron Spike room.
The Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, with the Wilderness Lodge, they've got a gondola, and they've also got an engine.
A box car.
And so someone suggested the old Central Pacific engine.
Right.
It was originally built, I think, in 1859, was in an accident, and they redid it in about 1872.
Yep.
Into this style.
Okay.
And Central Pacific, which was part of Southern Pacific, still had the original blueprints. So Disney got the original blueprints, and that's where the engine came from.
Okay.
Then when Walt wanted to do the first 2 engines at Disneyland, he just took the blueprints, blew them up, and that's how you got the C.K. Holiday and the E.P. Ripley. This is Ward Kimball stuff. We got this at an auction. Ward stuff went on sale.
Oh.
And so we sent 3 people back with about $6,000, and we had a fundraiser, Club 33, to get the money, and then we sent people back, and this is what we were able to buy. We bought part of his fire engine collection, part of his train collection. You can see it plates. And his family, after he passed away, donated that lantern over there from his collection.
Oh, wow.
But change maker up there, a clock, a little phone that he had. That's the fire hat that he wore in the Rose Parade back in the 60s when Walt Disney was Grand Marshal.
Oh, wow.
Then to the right over there is Ollie Johnston's toolkit that he had, and that's some of Ollie's stuff. It's a builder's plate that he had. He had his backyard railroad that Walt got to ride on. And then when Walt got a backyard railroad, he wanted to take. And you'll see some artifacts here. Cow catchers from the number 3. We have a switch stand from the Disneyland Railroad. We've got to be good friends with the Roundhouse crew at Disneyland. About 6 months ago, they said, gee, we've got this cab to C.K. Holiday. And there is a yellow panel still in existence down at the Disneyland Roundhouse. And they had no idea what it was. It's hanging up on a wall, and no one could figure out what it was. And so in some of the videos of the early things, you can see a yellow monorail running around. The swimming pools slides at the Disneyland Hotel in the retro colors of what the monorails were.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So taking it to Sacramento, putting a store mounted, and one of our members bought it and loaned it to us down here.
Wow.
Because they also got quarter, and he wanted something more powerful to run on his layout.
Yep.
And water had gotten in. These were the old hatch covers, the old wood hatch covers, and so water got gondola, and I think the family's got it up there, and they're not sure what it's from or so forth. Even Michael wasn't sure, but we saw on one home video that nobody else had seen that this car was in the consist one day riding up on Walt's Railroad.
Oh.
So it was on Walt's Railroad. We don't
wow.
know where it came from, what it was made, who made it or whatever, but he did have an oddball car that was on his railroad.
And he just recently passed away.
He passed away about a year or so ago.
Yeah. I always ask for Fest Parker wine wherever we go. It's tough
There
to
you go.
find.
You can find a lot of stores. Nixon, Nixon came out to Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
And Bob Gurr loves talking about the time that he stole Richard Nixon from underneath the Secret Service. Because Walt was there.
Yeah.
And Richard Nixon and the wife and the daughters were there. And Walt said, they
Yeah, okay. Now, he actually used it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it actually worked.
Oh, yeah. If Walt had it, it worked. You notice Gesnid Valley back there? Yeah, you see Gesnid Valley?
Yeah, he kept it all to himself.
But you can take a look as to the ways you go around, and you can, reverse yourself and so forth. And that, the driveway had the railroad tracks on, and when my brothers and I came in, that's the way we came in, and
Okay.
walked around and so forth.
Now, I understand that Frank Sinatra used to live across the street, used to come over for rides, and...
He was down the street a little.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But, Carolwood was, there were still some vacant lots up to about 15 years ago up there. Because I grew up in that area, and I'd walk the areas and
Sure.
do so forth. And Walt would hang his overalls, and he just had a broomstick through there, and that's how he hung his overalls.
I think when he told Lillian that the train was going to run on the front of the house, she was like, it's going to do what?
Right through a flower garden, and she said over my dead body. And so when they talked about the right-of-way, they had lawyers involved as to how that train was going to go through there, and she was going to have her flower garden because she didn't want to have her friends over, and there's Walt waving in his dirty engineer's outfit as he went by. That's where the tunnel came in. So the right-of-way was negotiated, and he got his railroad, and she got her flower bed. And then also, the story about Walt Campbell and the Frontier train station. When they did So Dear to My Heart, when they got through with it, Walt said, here to Ward, you can have the station. And there's just, 3 sides, and that was about it. We've got the car on it.
Okay.
Let's see what our book is. We had a book here that showed the combine being moved, and it's usually right here. And we didn't have a book that showed all the pictures of how we moved the combine like this. Well, too as to when they took the place apart.
Yeah, I see a J8 over there,
Yeah.
and
So if you look around, yeah, everything was marked when they took it apart
yeah, okay.
and reassembled.
Yeah, very neat.
But this was his workshop. This is where, you know, he'd make doll furniture for the girls, for their doll houses and stuff, and that's where he put her around.
Well, you look what this guy accomplished, and then he had time to just have these hobbies, which really became his obsession for what he achieved.
Well,
and
you got
it's-
some time to blow off steam and stuff.
Right, right.
I mean, you know, he had his, you know, house down in Smoke Tree Ranch down there. They said, gee, would you like it? Because we're going to tear it down. So we went up there. We were going to saw it in half and bring it down. We took one look at it. So I got, we have a couple of members here which are carpenters. And so one of them went up there with his worker, took it apart, and rebuilt it because it was all termites and black widows. And the roof was, you know, it was held together by a prayer.
Yeah.
The sides were all redwood, so that was still good, but the roof was shot. And so we replaced that. That's the original gingerbread which is on the roof. We duplicated the sign on the side because the original one's in the barn. We didn't want that to deteriorate.
Yep.
They used it for a playhouse, a garden shed. One of our members that works at Disneyland made that little shadow box inside that looks like the inside of a railroad depot. You can look at some of the donation pile. Instead of steam pressure, he'd use air pressure to test it.
Got it.
So that's, and the air compressors also ran all his mills and his lathes and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's where that was kept. If they're sitting outside, they're not undercover, they're deteriorating. And so the NORADs wanted this car to be preserved, but also want to allow the public, because the other 4 cars are in private hands and you can't, you know, see them. And so this is a chance to see the car.
Yeah.
And then also, we have the Disney sign painted on it. And you can take a look inside as to how the car looked. Same stencils. If you had a chance, did you have a chance to ride the Lily Bell at Disneyland?
No.
Well, the same stenciling on the Lily Bell ceiling is the same stenciling that was in all the cars.
Oh, wow.
And so you can see the stenciling on
Yep.
top there.
Yep.
Now, when Disney built this car, they had plastic up on top there instead of the glass, which kind of got funky over the years. At the time, it was state of the art, but it looked kind of bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bill Norad wanted to, you know, take it to a next step that he thought Walt would take it. And so he's made these clear story glass panels, and so it really adds to the car.
Yeah.
But if you look at any of the original photos, as I said, this is the paint job and the lettering.
When did it come out of service, Fred?
About 1974.
Okay.
The reason why they pulled that whole train out is when they put in the Grand Canyon and the dinosaurs, if you're sitting on that side of the train, you couldn't see out really to take in the full effect of the Grand Canyon and the thing. Also, if you look at the new cars at Disneyland, you get on, you get off real easy.
Yeah.
Here, you got to go in from both ends.
Yeah.
So I think they pulled out in '74, and it was the last time it was in service.